So hi. The situation is I'm walking along the street and I'm still quite a mess, and I do what I always do. It's like my Tourette's. I've developed Tourette's, where yeah, I basically I think I just talk through pain, be it emotional or physical, and I'm walking down the street and. The language that's coming out of my mouth on repetition, yeah, it's not really it's not really possible to claim sanity or normality when I'm doing that on a daily basis. So I thought I'd try and switch to doing a video and see if I can get past this fucking shit life, fucking shit life, fucking shit life, fucking shit life. Sorry, that's my Tourette's. Fucking shit life, 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 fucking shit life. I can't laugh this off. Anyway, so let's try and keep it focused. Just by chance, the place where I decided to begin this video is right next to the hospital where I come on an infrequent basis. So nothing much to say. Two different hospitals I've been in now, and they're all pretty much the same. I had no complaints about the building, and I just because I've been there a few times now and I know the local area. It's not as bad as it once was, because when I do get leave I can pop to the health shop and get a green juice and try and get my life back on track by implementing a regime of some sort. So there are benefits to coming to the same hospital, and not a prior one where it was outside of London and in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, that was just by chance. 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 I'm getting somewhere. Right. So from all of that, I'm going to try and steer this into the never-ending story for you. Let's pick it up where I left off before that, and let's try and juggle the sensitive subject matter as well with other pedestrians on the street. So on a previous video we got to Alexander the Great went to India. Now, I didn't make it clear before, but my theory is that either an Aboriginal met Alexander the Great in India, and then between them they birthed the entire Indian... No, it wouldn't be. No, that's inaccurate. Sorry. But anyway, an Aboriginal man or woman met Alexander the Great, and they had a child. So it was the first white to, what would you call the Aboriginal man? Brown? It's not quite black, and there's no real reference for it in society. So I'm going to reference it as brown. I apologise if that offends anyone, that wasn't my intention. And they have a child. Who knows? Anyway, that's one possibility in my mind. This is how I come to information, by really listening and playing out these stories and not making a decision on them until I have adequate evidence to make a decision upon it. So I hope you can listen in the same way, otherwise you're going to get bored. Right, so Now, all right, we'll get back to Alexander the Great in a minute, but he went to India. Between them, they somehow birthed the, again, pardon me if I'm offending anyone, the yellow skin. I speak very bluntly because this is how it's referenced in spirituality: red, black, white, and yellow. But we'll call it the Asian nation, because I can't believe out of all the skin references, yellow would be the most offensive for some reason. I don't know why. So they birthed the Asian nation, Oriental Asian nation. Now, from that, and cutting a lot of the story out, Shiva stated, there was I believe it was Shiva, that there were 108 ways to enlightenment. Right, so get this. Oh, this is so hard. The Oriental Asian nation was born. They're very akin to having an aptitude for energy, martial arts, and that way of life. And where all that information comes from is anyone's guess. I mean, they're very advanced systems. They connect to different channels and pathways in the body that we still don't really even recognize today. Not only were they able to connect with them, but they were able to develop systems based upon that in way of martial arts. Now, the story is that Shiva essentially set a challenge. Who would be the first person to find enlightenment? He put the seeds out there that this is how to do it. There's 108 ways. And my current thinking is that it was achieved by Ip Man, Bruce Lee's teacher, in Hong Kong, where he modified his martial arts system, Wing Chun, probably one of the more well-known martial arts. He was the representative of that martial arts. He was the one who really brought it to the world. It wasn't meant to be taught on a public level, but nonetheless, he stuck his neck out and taught the world. And he was quite well known within that for his the wooden dummy. It's a martial art dummy, so it looks like a short tree trunk with wooden pegs coming out of it, where you would practice as if they were arms and legs. And he developed that aspect of the martial arts system. And he changed it to 108 moves. Now, my thinking is he somehow gained enlightenment, or somehow instigated consciousness happening as a result. Hong Kong, where he would have been at the time, is one of those few cities in the world, London and New York, the other two, where they're really now, everything's now, as I understand it. You know, like, you can walk out pretty much any time of the day, and before lockdown, you would have been able to find pretty much any shop most hours of the day. And I think it's something that happens when consciousness awakens in someone, that environment around them somehow is a mirror image of what is taking place on a different level. I think New York might have been Lennon back in the 60s, London, God knows. Eckhart Tolle, could have been anyone. Anyway, so Ip Man, Bruce Lee's teacher, stumbled upon enlightenment by changing his martial art to 108 ways. This is all a bit far-fetched, I know, but just listen to it as a story, innit? And if you want to take any truth from any of the little elements that might have truth, then do that. Otherwise, whatever. So, the other thing about Ip Man is that I know his reincarnation too, and at the moment I'm not 100% sure on this, because at the moment I believe it's my auntie. So I don't know for certain. I believe I've got some connection with him, and I believe it's my auntie. My uncle, I believe, tried to convince me that it was me on a subtle level for some sort of teaching, some sort of lesson. But no, I've settled on the idea that it's my auntie. So that's how we get from Alexander the Great, the body and energy and all of that, and the culmination of it was enlightenment through a means of fighting where you don't have an opponent. It's a piece of wood. Anyway, that's the story. I still feel like shit, but I don't know, hopefully this has helped.